Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Susan, and I'm with Swamp Folk, and this is our first show that is airing, and we're so excited. We hope that you're all out there, having an awesome time, and we're gonna jump right in. Our suggestion: we asked to get some questions off of Facebook, and we have some great questions that were submitted, and I'm just gonna find the first one I see. Okay, we have a question here from Susan Early. And the question is, why do we make bad choices even when we know they are bad choices? And that's our suggestion. Why do we make bad choices even when we know that they're bad choices?
I feel like there's kind of an instinctive drive in most people to go against like what we're taught when we're young. Like to go for the bad boy in the leather jacket with like the tape on it. It says T-Bird. I'm just thinking of Grease for some reason.
Instead of the nice guy who's got the tape on his glasses.
Bad choices are fun, and even if they're bad, it feels good to make a bad choice sometimes, a lot of times.
I know for me it's like, adults, when you're a kid, adults are always like trying to tell you what works and what doesn't work. And as a kid, you want to figure it out yourself. So it's almost like sometimes you purposefully make bad choices to prove to adults that you have the control to make those choices, even though you probably already instinctively know as a kid that they're just really bad choices.
I think there's also a part of you that has to think that it's actually a good choice. There's a part of you that's hedging its bet. There's a part of you that goes, this is worth the broken glass I'm about to crawl over to get whatever this thing is. I think that is at the other end of it, which is usually not there, and that part of you is stupid. Don't listen to it.
I don't know. I feel a little bit like that's kind of the lesson is part of the reward. You know, like what's going to happen if I touch this hot stove? Well, you know, you touch the stove, you get burnt, and you realize, shit, that fucking hurts. So that's, part of it's in just like, the innate curiosity of what happens when you do something bad, even if it is bad.
We cut to a high school locker room. I just really, really want Dave to ask you to prom.
Listen, Cheryl. I've been your friend for about 2 years now, and you've always been, one of the popular girls ever since you started hanging out with me. I want you to know that this is it's in your territory. It's in your sphere of influence.
This is why I came to you, Denise. You are such a good friend to me, and you always make me feel like I could make this happen. And if I just really want it bad enough, then David will ask me to prom.
You followed every step that a popular girl does. You got your pink leather jacket.
Got it.
You got your chewing tobacco.
Well, got it.
You drink scotch before you go to school now.
Actually, this morning was brandy, but I got it.
You're drinking brandy now. You're a rebel. I can see that.
It was the only thing in my parents' cabinet, but I figured you wouldn't mind, if I switched it up a little bit.
Just changing things up. I can appreciate that. Now, if you really want to get this, what's his name? David? Jerry?
Yeah.
Lionel? David.
His name's David.
David. Okay. So you're taking classes with David. Is he older boy?
He's a senior.
He's a senior. Well, you as a sophomore, that's shooting pretty for the stars, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, but you always told me I had to think big, I had to dream big and look outside of the small box that is my life.
Well, we can talk about box for days, honey. But for good, you know what I was talking about when I said dream big, right? Have you got the training bra that I got for you?
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now. It's still kind of empty though.
Well,
but what is it?
When in times like this, I usually like to use my old friend, Mr. Kleenex. That's all I'm trying to say.
We cut to a car dealership. Look, I'm 57, and I just want to get a dark blue Porsche. That's all I want to get.
Listen. If you get this dark blue Porsche, you're going to get into an accident and crash. I have to tell you.
There's no way to sell a car.
I have to tell you, it's in my contract as a representative from the Porsche company that the dark blue Porsche is 100% deadly. Somebody's going to die. Might not be you, but it might be somebody. You know.
So it was like a refurbished car. Is this what you're saying?
I'm saying that every dark blue Porsche that we have sold, refurbished or brand new, has resulted in at least one death.
Oh, well, let's say I didn't even plan on driving it. You know, I just want to basically make my wife know that I'm still around, you know? And I figure if I get this dark blue Porsche, then she'll be like, oh, well, Steven is still my husband. He's still got it.
Well, I mean, you know, the fumes from the car are very cancerous, and they might result in either you or your wife developing a malign tumor.
Well, I mean, normally in this circumstance I would say no, but I came here to buy the dark blue Porsche. That's all I wanted since I was about 54, and maybe we'll create a more interest in our life. I don't know.
Are you going through a midlife crisis? I mean, you know, a lot of people come in here.
I'm going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, a lot of people come in here. They want the car.
And that. Mhm.
They want the car for their whole lives, but you only wanted it for 3 years. I mean, have you really put that much thought into it? Is it really worth the possible pain and suffering of yourself or your family or strangers?
I mean, I didn't think it would be a death machine that I'm buying. You know, you're making it a very hard buy. Or a hard sell, however you say it.
It does have lovely leather seats. It has
We cut to a doctor's office. So, my hands, yes, I did. I put them directly on the stove, but my hands were cold, and I was trying to warm them up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So
and what was the result of that?
Well, my skin got burned off. My skin is missing.
Right. Right. So are your hands cold?
Well, no, they're not cold anymore, which is why I did it. Right. So I guess what you're saying. Okay,
I'm saying, Miss Watson, you're what we call a natural genius. Most people, they only put a Band-Aid on their problems. Most people, they're not willing to go the whole 9 yards. I would never mess with a natural genius. You've proven it.
I appreciate that you are recognizing my natural genius, and I don't disagree with you. I've always felt that I make very intuitive, good choices in life. How that would be really helpful right now, because I am missing all of the skin on my hands.
Miss Watson, what I want you to do is I want you to slow down, and I want you to look at your skinless, mauled, useless hands. And I want you to look deep down inside your heart, and I want you to see, what does your heart say is the way to fix those hands?
Chop them off.
Chop them off. That is exactly right. Now, I wasn't going to say it because legally I can't say it. I'm not allowed to perform an unnecessary amputation unless you ask for it.
I am 100%
Okay.
asking right now. My hands hurt. How do you get hands to stop hurting?
No
Don't have
hands.
hands.
That's
Chop off my
exactly
hands,
right.
please.
That's exactly right. Okay, so if you'll just lay your hands on the table. Now, I have a number of surgical instruments. I have a saw. It's a pneumatic saw. It would go right through the bones of your wrist cleanly, but that's a medical opinion. What does your heart tell you I should use to take your hands off with?
Honestly, my heart is telling me you should rip them off with just fierce strength.
Are you married?
No.
Well, you may be married before the
We
day's over
cut
with.
to Cheryl's parents' kitchen. Cheryl? Cheryl, get in here! Cheryl!
Yeah,
Cheryl,
Mom?
did you drink my German brandy?
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
I did. Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mom,
all
I
right.
did. I drank your brandy.
Who's the boy now?
Whoa!
Who
How
is
did
he?
you know? Oh, his name's
Well,
David,
like-
and
Daughter like mother. Like mother like daughter.
wait, you mean you used to have crushes on boys?
Of course, yeah, crushes too. I wouldn't drink as much over them. I mean, sometimes, yeah, crushes, just crushes. Now tell me, what's going on here with you and David? What's going on?
Well,
I can't afford to
I
lose
really
any
like
more
him. He's
brandy.
Well, it's just I really like him, and my friend Denise told me, that I should start chewing tobacco and drinking and wearing this leather jacket and stuffing my bra and all those things like that will get David to notice me. So I've just been following all of her advice.
Okay.
Cheryl.
Cheryl, honey, I'm just...
Cheryl. Hey, it's me, Cheryl. Cheryl.
Denise, what's up?
I'm hiding under the cupboard.
Oh my God, Denise.
Under the cupboard?
Mom,
How
shut
did
up.
you even get under the cupboard?
Mom, just leave us alone. Shut up. Denise, what's going on?
Cheryl, there's a party tonight. It's an illegal warehouse party. You
Let's
gotta come
go.
down to the pier. David's gonna be there with all of his boys.
I'll be there. I will be there.
Denise! No, Cheryl, you're grounded. That's it. I don't understand how Denise got not only in the cupboard, but under the cupboard. And you drank all of my brandy, which normally I would understand, but now you're chewing tobacco and drinking, and Cheryl is taking you to who knows where to go meet some David.
It turns out the Underground Railroad runs under
Mom.
your house, Cheryl. I'm gonna go back in there. You can come with me if you want.
No, not the Underground Railroad!
I'm coming.
Under the house. I knew we should have moved when we had the chance.
Oh, this is my chance. I've got to go.
Well, there's nothing I can do to stop you since you live in the basement and the door goes straight out to the Underground Railroad.
Well, I'm glad that you recognize you can't stop me. So I'm going, and I'm sure that I will not be a virgin anymore when I come home in the morning.
We cut
Well,
to a barren graveyard. All these people, they all bought Porsches. I tried to tell them.
Well,
They just don't listen.
you've done well, my son. You've done well. And now I will grant you what I've promised.
You're finally gonna write me into the will.
I'm going to write you into my will. Now, I am the king of the dead. I am Pluto, the king of the dead. And you may think that I'll never die. But I might.
If you're the king of the dead, then and you die, who's going to kill all these Porsche buyers?
That's not my concern if I'm dead. I will have gone to my reward, to the Emperor of the Dead, Super Pluto.
So pretty much every time you die, you just increase in rank?
Yeah, there's another guy. I mean, there's always another guy, like up above, like this, like the Emperor of the Dead. There's like the Emperor of the Dead. It just goes on forever. It's just increasing. I mean, those guys, and they're jerks. First of all, they have to give themselves long titles. I'm very understated. I'm just King of the Dead.
Well, if you take over their titles, then you'll be a jerk too.
Yes, that is the way of all things, my son, is to live, to die, and to become a jerk. But let's not talk about metaphysics. Let's talk about promises. I'm now putting you in my will. This graveyard and everything in it will be yours in the unlikely event of my death.
We cut to the grand, high master kingdom of the dead. Gentlemen, please circle around the table. We have a new addition to the grand, high master kingdom of the dead. Please.
I bow down.
I bow down, your mightiness.
I bow down as well.
Please welcome our newest member of our mighty tribe, the King of the Dead. The King of the Dead.
We bow down to you, King of the Dead.
Please don't make a fuss. I'm a very
We bow down.
Yes, thank you. Look, I'm a very simple man. I'm only here to sit and to rest after centuries of. Have you ever met a human being? That's what I was in charge of, was human beings.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, they're awful.
Horrible.
They're awful creatures. They want to die. I mean, they go out of their way to die. They'll spend large sums of money to die, and I never understood it. I mean, my job was quite easy, but it was not challenging, and they're just horrible to be around generally.
Well, surely they can't be as bad as the mole creatures from the Meisters of the Dead. They buy garish blue instruments in which they ride.
But what percentage of likelihood are they to die in those garish blue instruments?
Nearly 100.
Yes, but what if it was 100? Absolutely 100. Would they buy one?
Surely they would not.
Well, these humans do.
My God.
Well,
Idiots. Humans. Idiots.
my kingdom of Jarblers from the planet Ringju, they will die. They will just kill themselves and destroy all their belongings. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They just do it. They're dumb.
Surely
Idiots.
these creatures of the Ringju wouldn't go off to illegal warehouse raves to go canoodle with some other of their opposite sex.
The planets or where I oversee the Kluvlop. The Kluvlop have an exoskeleton that is a hard shell that protects all of their vital organs and beings. And they purposely drill holes in it and adorn them with jewelry. But it leaves them susceptible to disease, and they all die. They're idiots.
Idiots. Beep, 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 boop. King, I have received a message from Earth.
Oh, goodness. What fool these
Would you like me
mortals
to
be.
read it?
Yes, please read it out.
Apparently in Bath, England, they have found the Fountain of Youth, and humans are all from all over the world are traveling to go to the Fountain of Youth so that they can prolong their lifespan.
This should be entertaining to watch. Put it up on the screen.
We cut to that Fountain of Youth. So I said, I gotta get on the plane. I gotta come to the fountain. I want to grow old.
That'll be
I
20
want
pence.
to live young forever.
That'll be 20 pence.
20 pence. That's no problem. I've paid way more than that at my plastic surgeon. I mean, did you know that I was 65? You couldn't tell. You thought I was 30.
No, I did not. You look about 32. That's about half of
Well,
what your actual age is.
exactly. So I know if there's something I can do to prolong me look young and fabulous, I will do it. Plastic surgery, a little Botox, and now a little splashing around in this fountain. If it's going to work, it's going to work.
It's not right. It's not natural, people staying alive forever.
Hey, you.
Jump into the... Hey, if you jump into the fountain, you'll look like you're 9 years old.
I don't want to look 9 years old. I worked really hard to get these wrinkles.
Well,
It means
then
something.
Don't do it. But the 65-year-old lady over there from the Bronx is going to look like she's 9 years old once she jumps into the fountain.
Yeah, but a soul won't be 9 years old, will it? Like, you're going to have some wrinkles on
But
the
isn't
inside.
that what makes it... As long as there's no wrinkle on the outside, I don't care if there's wrinkles on the... I don't care. I just want a smooth glow. That's all. I'm
Yeah,
saying...
But you'll be lying to yourself, won't you?
Hey! She didn't.
Do I look...
Excuse me, you didn't pay the 20 pence.
Yeah, you didn't pay me. I never got your money.
Is that why it didn't work? Because I'm standing here, I'm soaking wet, and I don't look any younger. I'm not 9 years old.
Yeah, you were blasted with one of those fancy super soakers.
So what?
You
It is
fine.
activated when I pay you?
Yeah, you gotta
Yep.
pay up first.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no problem. Here's my money.
All right.
Okay, I'll dive in
Do
again.
it again. Off the high board this time.
Did it work? No, look at me. Look, I can see my reflection. Nothing happened.
You have to pay
Next.
another.
We cut to a 1940s carnival. Step right up, step right up. We have Mr. Magoo's Magic Cream. Mr. Magoo's Magic Cream cures all things, cures everything, cures a headache, cures a little hangover, cures broken bones. Step right up, step right up. You, little boy, come over here.
Yeah, mister. Yeah, mister, what you got?
Are you ready to try Mr. Magoo's Magic Cream?
I got consumption, something awful.
You got consumption.
Yeah, and I got dropsy.
You got consumption and
Yeah,
dropsy.
and I got rickets.
My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we have a live one on us.
I can't
Ladies
see, mister. Are you still talking?
Yes, I am, my boy. Yes, I am still talking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, little boy?
Everything's getting fuzzy, mister.
Little boy, I'm going to rub this magic elixir upon your eyes. And I swear by the power in me that you will have sight. Your rickets will fall by the wayside, like tiny dominoes falling from a coffee table. Can you hear me, little boy?
I'm going, mister. I'm dying.
We're rubbing you with Mr. Magoo's Magic Cream, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait. Everybody, if you want to live forever, get you some cream from Dr. Magoo.
Will you look at that? I think we do have a slogan on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. What's your name, little boy?
My name's Cecil Magoo.
Cecil Magoo. Cecil, have you ever wanted to be something when you grew up? Maybe a fireman, a superhero, a pyrotechnician?
I wanted to be the President of the United States.
The President of the United States. Well, I'll be. Ladies and gentlemen, Cecil wants to be the President of these United States. Well, what do I say?
We cut to the year 2440. the United States presidential election year.
Now look, I don't care what kind of dirty tricks we gotta pull to win this election. Cecil Magoo's gonna be president. I don't care if that cream left me 9 years old forever.
Sir, nobody is going to vote for someone who looks like they're 9 years old, with all due respect.
How
Senator.
dare you talk to my husband that way? He may only be 9 years old, and I may be, 100 and something at this point. I don't like to say my age, but my husband and I both look 9, and he will be president if he says he's going to be president.
That's right. Because there's people who said stuff like that to me, mister, and they ain't breathing no more.
Yeah, they ain't breathing no more. Dead. They're
That's
gone.
what that means. It means they're dead. Thank you for clearing that up, sweetie. Yes, they were used to be alive, and now they're dead.
I'm aware of how death works. I'm kind of I was wondering, is that what happened to your first husband, Cheryl?
Oh,
David?
My first husband, David. That is a love story for the times. Let me tell you, that is a love story for the times.
Oh, brother.
Honey, please don't interrupt me. You know I love to tell this story. So, I was a sophomore. He was a senior. I did everything I could to get him to fall in love with me, and every decision I made, no matter how ridiculous, it all worked. And the night of the big warehouse party, we fell in love.
Cheryl, I'm hiding under the table.
Denise, you're always popping up. You're always popping up in the greatest places. What's going on?
How did this woman get through security?
Cheryl, there's an illegal speakeasy happening down by the strip. Re-prohibition has happened again, and they got bathtub whiskey.
I'm there. And scene. Thank you guys so much. We've been Swamp Folk. I'm going to do a quick introduction of everybody, or they're going to introduce themselves. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Susan. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. Joe, what about you?
I am in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Jim?
I'm in New York City.
Jason?
I'm in Huntsville, Alabama.
Dasha?
Denver, Colorado in my car.
So that's us. We're Swamp Folk. Check us out again in 2 weeks. Same time, same place. And make sure you stick around to watch some more shows tonight. I believe Hector is up next.
Hector is...
Excellent. Anyone else want to plug anything? Awesome. Well, that's it. Check out e-improv.com if you want to do stuff like this. It's really fun, and you could easily be a part of this amazing community of people improvising online. And once again, we're Swamp Folk. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.